Mercedes Mone's controversial comments may shock AEW fans. And find out why in this video, because at this moment, Mone, she's given her thoughts, and everyone seemingly has an opinion. Look, Mercedes Mone, she's a key figure of AEW. She's a key figure of the women's division, and she's a key figure of the roster. And she has given her take on AEW All Out, one of AEW's most controversial events. At the event, Mone successfully retained her TBS championship over Hikaru Shida. However, the last two matches, they made headlines. They got everybody talking. In the co-headliner, it was John Moxley. He put a plastic bag over AEW World Champions Bryan Danielson's head. This was after Danielson had retained his world title over Jack Perry. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page in an unsanctioned steel cage match. It headlined the event. An event that just 2 weeks after All In. During the bout, they took several bumps on cinder blocks. Swerve hit a foot stomp through the table, and they even used an edge of burnt wood to stab Page in the head. Now, that burnt wood, that was from the supposed burnt-down house of Swerve Strickland, where he grew up as a child. He bought that house in storyline just a few days before, or the day of, actually. Things got even more extreme as Page, he ripped the grill out of Swerve's mouth. While extreme and ultra-violent matches may not appeal to everyone, they certainly have a significant role in the realm of pro wrestling. A hardcore match can efficiently convey the emotion weight of a narrative as part of a storyline. Given the intense animosity between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland, can Swerve truly achieve retribution against Page for the destruction of his childhood home through technical wrestling? No. They'd have to get a little violent. So they created a compelling narrative out of All Out in their match. They also pushed boundaries of safety. Their willingness to endure physical risks, such as backdrops on the cinder blocks and chair strikes to the head, well, it got people talking and for concern. Rightfully so. By doing such extreme measures, going to that point, there is a danger of desensitizing the audience to the element of surprise, potentially leading them to look out for more outrageous things rather than just a classic wrestling match. The pursuit of a heightened reaction could ultimately result in serious injury. Mercedes Mone, she had her own match at All Out, and in her recent newsletter, she talked about what she thought of the violence at All Out, what she thought about violence in pro wrestling. This is what she had to say. All Out was extremely violent, and honestly, Daniel Bryan's stuff was tough to watch. I have mixed emotions. When done right, that kind of stuff can tear a roof off like Daniels did. However, I wouldn't want my brother Joshua to watch stuff like that, or kids for that matter. Let's face it, wrestling is multi-generation. When I do signings, I greet so many parents and their children growing up. I didn't have a father. It was especially warmed my heart to meet families and hear how much wrestling viewing experiences and memories mean to them. Then again, there's an audience that loves the extreme, and you want to cater to them too. When you see your favorite stars going to the extreme, you may want to blame the promotion. Honestly, though, it's the talent who will usually make the right calls in the ring. While I credit talents who go to the extreme in terms of violence inflicted upon themselves for the passion and courage, I want talent to have longevity and graduate from this world healthy and be able to function. Our bodies go through enough with all the bumps, not to mention the travel and schedule. Personally, I'm at a place career-wise where I'd like to avoid extreme matches. Look, I thought she absolutely crushed it with what she had to say. I thought she absolutely said the right thing. If you are Mercedes Mone, you have to look at it from both points of view. Right? You have to look at it from the traditionalist sense, where you don't want to see all the blood and all the violence and all the outrage. At the same time, though, there is moments in pro wrestling that call for it. Here's the reason why I titled this video the way that I did. I think in a lot of ways, there are many AEW fans out there that like this violence. They want to see blood. As for someone who grew up as a WWE fan and had to go through multi-years of WWE not using blood, I always thought it was silly that you would get thrown into a steel cage or a ring post or steel steps and there not be blood in big match moments. However, AEW has taken this violence, this blood, to a completely different level. If you hit a knee strike, you start to bleed if you're a Bryan Danielson or a John Moxley, or name someone who likes to bleed a lot. It gets to the point where it's so ridiculous that it's not believable. We all understand when we tune into AEW Dynamite, WWE Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, or even Collision. Or pick a freaking company. Whenever we watch pro wrestling, we suspend our disbelief. We know that it is orchestrated. It's laid out. It's predetermined. It's not fake, though, so don't say that. If you look at it from a point of view of wrestlers, I get why blood is necessary. It tells a story. It elements the way of the storyline that is going. But at the same time, though, I also look down on ridiculous stuff like using cheese graters and pizza slicers and even light tubes. Jeez, almost went to a really different level there. I look down on that. I think it's cheap heat. I think it comes across negatively. I don't think it gets anything across. Anyone can take a cheese grater. Anyone can take a pizza slider or a light tube and smash it over your head, my head, or Bob's down the street's head. I can't do a moonsault off the top rope. I just can't. I can't do a shooting star press. I don't want to take a bump. I respect those who get in their ring and put their lives on the line. That being said, some fans feel offended when you criticize AEW. Actually, a lot of fans feel offended when you criticize AEW. There's so much tribalism. But I think when it comes from what Mercedes said, I think that's the nice way of saying it. But at the same time, I think you have to look at it like this. Violence in pro wrestling is there, but it's already baked in. It's already built in. Most of the time, you don't even have to add to it. AEW, Tony Khan, they almost feel like they have to cater to a certain audience. As the likes of Eric Bischoff or Matt Hardy have said, I think they cater to them way too much. And at the end of the day, I don't think that's how you build a successful brand, a business. You want to be number one in pro wrestling. That's Tony Khan's goal, and to make a lot of money. Right now, they're just making a lot of money. Where is the growth? That would be my 2 cents on everything. Let me know down in the comments there below, what do you think about Mercedes Mone's comments? Do you agree with her? Do you disagree with her? I will see y'all in the next video.